Feelings that we have during prayer create a chain of vibrating molecules. When our prayer ritual is constant, the air molecules can vibrate with enough force to create powerful effects in the environment. Our body has the ability to tightly compress air molecules together. As the molecules move away from us, they loosen up into a low-pressure configuration. In science, this diminished density of air or gas is called rarefaction. When you pray, your mind focuses your emotion on the object of your desire with a constant velocity, and a cycle is created. Prayer changes your frequency. The cycling when you pray consists of the rate of continuous increase and decrease in the pressure of air molecules that surround you. The resulting pressure variation is called a longitudinal wave. The distance between the crests of the wave or the point where the shape of the wave repeats is called the wavelength. People can hear within the range of 20 to 20,000 cycles per second. We can perceive a phenomenon with far greater range both above and below the audible range, but receiving these messages can be problematic for the five senses without proper conditioning. This is precisely the reason that prayer becomes a critical component in finding the new you. When prayer makes a constant presence in our life, the air molecules will vibrate with enough force to create perceivable effects in the environment. The force, power, or amplitude of our mental signal is based upon heat. When we learn to focus on our objective with emotional constancy, it produces heat. This is important because that heat speeds up the transmission of our message as the wave travels faster in warmth. I became aware of these principles by paying close attention to my breathing while praying, and am eternally grateful for my awareness of them. It was a gradual process for me as I developed in my understanding of the power of our respiratory system to synchronize other systems of the body. Initially, I had no idea of humanity's untapped potential. Western civilization, social processes, and industrial-based education model instructed me to regulate all faculty for progress to my mind's attention to external factors. I was spellbound and awestruck when I realized all that the human body can bring to fruition with emotionally concentrated attention to prayer. Your automatic nervous system acts unconsciously. It regulates your heart rate, digestion, respiratory rate, pupillary response of your eyes, amongst other functions of the body. It is the primary mechanism responsible for the fight or flight response. Prayer is a way to regulate your autonomic nervous system. So if the system operates unconsciously, then what is the use in learning to regulate it? This is a great question. When you breathe extremely slowly and deliberately with a pronounced emphasis on exhalation, the distance between the crests of the waves of the thoughts that you have become precisely even as a result of the changes in your heart rate. When I began to cultivate constant awareness of my breath and heart rate, the rate of dilation of my pupils seemed to become connected to my breathing. When something unexpected or alarming occurred, my breathing, heart rate, and thoughts did not spike. I became able to navigate the most challenging landscapes of life, fully conscious of their purpose to my journey. I became prepared to fight for my goals. The time had finally come for me to evoke a world of my own making. It all began with a prayer. I began to close my eyes regularly in a natural setting where I could perceive of the world that I wanted to wake up in. My instinct began telling me that I was involved in something of great importance to my individual development and the health of my family. My involvement with conscious breathing happened to me by accident. My prayers were delivering healthy thoughts to my subconscious mind. I was beginning to develop the courage to rewrite my personal story. I was visualizing a new me that was above overwhelming obstacles, as if I were some character in a book. I would tell myself my new story over and over again till it went from my mind to the page and finally into the reality of my daily life. I could see a detailed account of the objects that were surrounding me and began setting goals that would ultimately assist me in playing the part of the new me. It was childlike, but the concepts were both probable and functional. They were supported entirely by my emotions. The make-believe became an actualized reality for my daily life. I imagined and prayed for a set of goals for my life, and they became a reality. It is my sincere hope that you will develop a new tradition of fine-tuning and directing the power of your emotional perception through prayer. Prayer will assist you in feeling your new story. By praying, while exhaling as slowly as you possibly can, you nurture the entrainment of both your brainwave and your breathing. This technique will change your state of consciousness through deep relaxation. I personally recommend that you choose a natural setting to increase concentration and nurture a more effective entrainment of your mind and body. The plants are living and giving oxygen freely. Make them your very close friends. With practice, your mind will stop focusing on its search for intense joy in the next big thing. It will be replaced by something far more lasting. Your hearing, breath, mouth, and sense of touch will diminish any issues you may be harboring regarding rejection, anger, or depression. Your sense of worry will decrease along with any sense of self-doubt. These things will go away because you have taken the time to be still long enough to recognize the details of their origin before accepting them as nothing more than passing by. Prayer entrains the mind and the body and lends you the ability to define yourself as you see fit, so that you may move freely about life and nurture yourself with care. Prayer taught me to trust my silent mind, turn off my inner speech. It reveals the nature of reality. It can fill the emptiness. When I pray, I investigate myself aside from all objects. My concentration becomes stronger, and the feeling of my physical body disappears, leaving only my awareness.